because I ran into Gabriel Rubashkin the Shabbos afternoon at Nochen Davenin. I was the month, and I shared with him the following. So I'll share with you. It's not mamish about the Rebbe, but it's about Chassidish Yidden from Amo, from Kran, the old school Tmimim, which there were quite a few around, Chaikel Chanin, Chanzin, Chazanov, not Chanzin, Chazanov, and Yisklar, and Kazanovsky, V'chulu. There used to be this whole shiur Friday nights in the old coat room, which is now the northwest of 770. Inside, there was the coat room, and then there was a Cheder Sheni in there, and Zalman Shimon Dvarkin every Friday night would give a shiur in Teira Shalom to all the old Tmimim. It was a tzir. Anyway, so there were, of course, all these, each one was tzir b'fnei atzmei. But the ones in my, that really stuck with me, the two that really stuck was Rubashkin Sunken, even though I don't think he learned from Lubavitch, but I was Chagven on Neveler, and he had the real posh, geschmack, posh, feel, and Reb Getzel Rubashkin, which was known, he would never sat between the Sabrangans. He was always standing with the Bachrim and young Galite, right? Okay, so the following memory is from Yudalef Nissan Tof Shin Mem. If you know, that's when, I think Nisan Tof Shin Mem, the Rebbe started the whole thing, the Heshiv Leib Avis, Al Yidei Banim, right? That as the Elterin, the Kinder wollen lernen the Elterin, and v'chulu, and that's the simon from the Geula, from right? Hinei Anechi Shleach Lachem. And therefore they made a whole task that the kids should be very into Pesach. That's when they started the matzah bowl contest, and they even printed a cartoon, the Feinstones. If anyone has a picture copy of it, that would be great. And it was a whole mitzvah giving out. At least, getting all kids in New York and throughout into Pesach. So the Fabrengen in Yudalef Nissan Tof Shin Mem, the Rebbe was going into very much as the Kinder, as Iceland, the Eltern, and Nachmed, as the Eltern, und fragen die Kinder, wegen Pesach, mit allem in Yonah D'Yoma, Kimcha de Pischa, v'chulu. So I was, what was I? I was Elf Yarika Otaynik. So I was at the Fabrengen, whatever as a kid, whatever stuck in me, and whatever my kindish understandings, be it as it may. So the next day, I was going shopping. So my mother wasn't well those days because she had, during her pregnancy, she had this rare condition. She was very not well. So I would help out doing shopping and errands. So I'd go to Rubashkin's, fruits and vegetables. So Rubashkin's, those remember the old Rubashkin's, wasn't like now, but it had like this glass, two glass things, like the storefront was glass, and then it had a hallway before you went in, and then you went in. So I went in to go shopping, filled up the baskets, the oranges, the this, the that. It's a long Erev Pesach line, of course, waiting a half hour in the place line. Finally get to the front. So Getzel would help his Eidim, Michal Raskin. So Getzel, he couldn't schlep around anymore. He was an old man. So he would be at the old cash register with old buttons, eingebankt, clapping in and taking and help, So finally it's my turn. I'm up at the front, put up my baskets at the counter, helping him put in the bags. He rings me up. I pay him, about to go, and he goes, Kind, wo gehst du? So I stop, and he says, bist gewähnt bei Verbringen letzten bei Nacht? I said, yes. He says, was hat der Rebbe gesagt? So I started saying whatever I remembered. And the was hat der Rebbe gerät? And he says, no. Und sag mir, Kind, was darf man tun für Pesach? Wie viel cases, was darf man legen von Kaide, was heißt the Matze, and he starts going on 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and meanwhile there's a whole long line, and people in the line are starting to get antsy, like, and they're even starting to make no, like everyone's rushing for Pesach, but he doesn't care that Getzel keeps on asking me after, like, goes, must have been at least 5 minutes, if not more. And finally, I say everything that I answer him everything as much as I can. And then finally he goes with Ashmeichel, okay, the Ken's gehen jetzt. And then I go and I leave. By Hilapella, like I'm wondering like what's going on. And then I Getzel, because in the middle he was telling me about, he was asking me about the Heshiv Levavis. So I told him, so I Getzel, that was his whole point. He was at the Verbringen. The Rebbe said, the Eltern sollen pflegen, the old grown-ups should ask the kids about Pesach. Is a Chassidish Yid, Veisvikin Chachmas. He looks and he sees a kid in front of him in line, Mitzuva Va'isa, right away, to ask a kid what is Pesach, ABCs of Pesach. And he doesn't care about the line or anyone. That is a real bittul and a real chassid that takes things, understands it kipshute. So I just told this to Gavriel. Gavriel says Geshmeichel really liked it, but I think it was Mesa to me. So I was saying to Gavriel, no, this is a Pashti on Chachmes. He says. So Gabriel corrected. Also wissen, the Tate ist nicht gewesen, das Apashite. As gewesen sehr mussachdicke Balabas. He was very savvy in business. He wasn't he wasn't like, we saw him as like a pashta guy, but really he had real smarts going. But Lamreis Zeh, he still had this pashtus. And then, and guess who I ran into like 10 minutes later on President Street? Was Moshe Rubashkin, of course. So he was after Bigilufin, must have been, I think he was at a Kiddush, he just had a yard site from his father, Aaron, right? Anyways, so we should be mamish, soldatin, Metzuva Va'isa, and as you know, this Veish Lavis Ayidei Banim was the precursor, the segue over that rest half year till beginning of Mamalach, that became Tzivus Hashem. So we're all part of Tzivus Hashem, and Be'etzim Hayayim, Yatsu, called Tzivus Havayim, right? B'chulu. And like it says in my mother, the three Pirushim of Tzava, and right, and the difference between Tzivus of Hashem and Havayat Tzvakes, and that the Tzivus is going to the Yukevavke. We'll leave it for all the maskilim to figure it out. And so it should be mamish Pesach Hashata b'nei Chayrin, and not Lashon Haba. And mamish with Rebbe Malkeinu b'nei Sheinu, and shouldn't need any more zechrenis of the past, but it should be already making new experiences and new ways.